Um, First of all, I hope that you have already seen the the hair porting class, because if you already did, you already have an idea of how this has to work. You have to more or less have an idea on bones and a little bit of editing with Blender. So you can see here that I have the face, um, the face bones. I just wanted to show you because the face bones have these little bones over here that are for the ears, and these control the ear flaps over here, but we also need them for the hair. So a lot of hair that you're going to have uh, doesn't come with this already in it. You can see, for example, this skeleton that I have here, this port of mine. Um, I use this end root. Can You can see like these are the only bones that the hair has. So I am taking advantage of this board that I'm doing, and I'm actually going to do two things in one. First, I am going to get um, the Miqote ears, but also I'm going to give a better skeleton to the ponytail. So if you have a skeleton like this, and you try to use it with Miqote, your ears are not going to animate. So that's why I went and exported the Alice hair for Miqote specifically because of two reasons. One, I want to use these bone weights for my ponytail, but also well, this hair is obviously already established for an NPC, so the um, the game developers just added the funny ears in one whole piece that is extremely convenient, like it's already there. And if you want, you can like see, if I pull it away, you can see that they added a little bit of um like here you can see this little crown of faces over here that they made it so it's you can hide the connection of the ears uh, with the hair. So I'm going to try to steal that as well to make it look more natural. Uh, but anyway, don't move your ears, right? I just wanted to show you. Don't touch them, don't move them because they're going to be exactly at the same height that you want them to be. So actually, I am going to get rid of all of the hair. Um, I think I can only. Okay, so this, I'm going to hide the ear itself because I want to look at what these little hairs over here are like. And I'm also going to hide the bones because I don't want them on the way. I want to steal this. Um, you don't have to, but I think that it's a better look. So I am going to click on the hair that has those sections, and I'm going to go into edit mode. And now I can see what faces already have these little additional hairs coming out. So I'm going to, in select mode here, I'm going to change the face select. I'm going to click away, and then I'm going to start just grabbing with down shift every single one of these funny little crown shaped hairs. Uh, it has like it has two, I don't know what to call them. Jesus, I really don't know what to call them. But it's two sections, right? So I'm making sure that I select both sections. Um, all right. I think this one is already selected. All right. So I have everything that goes around the ear now. I'm going to make it into a separate part by pressing P, and it's going to give me the option separate by selection, by materials, or loose parts. So I'm going to do it by selection. And now this part is its own little mesh over here. So now I will select it. Oh, it's over here, sorry. I'm going to name it so I don't accidentally lose it. But it's going to be my ear, the ear fluff, right? So I did that with this side. I probably could have done it with the other side at the same time. Um, so you can just do exactly the same thing on the other side. I select all of these. Make sure that I take all of the little hair crown with me. All right. If you mess up, and for some reason you select less than what you needed, don't worry about it. You can just like Control C a little bit and try again. And if for whatever reason you are missing parts at the end, like say, let me look at it right now. I think I have all the parts, but if you're missing a particular part, you can separate it on its own and later just put it with the other one that you already removed. So I think I have selected everything. We'll see if that's the case, but I do P and separate as well. And this part is also ear fluff. So I'm going to grab both of the ear fluffs, one and then the other. I do this with, again, downshift, click before, well, downshift before you click. And then I do Control J to join them. Sometimes it happens to me that for some reason when I want to join them, it doesn't work. So I just like click on the scroll wheel a little to move the area, and usually that helps me do it when it's not working. But let's see. So I have this, and it looks like it was almost a perfect cut. I was just missing this little side over here, and maybe a little bit here, but altogether I think it works nice. I might not need to do anything else. So again, don't move them because all of the ears are always placed where they are supposed to be already. So this is the ear fluff, and then I have my ears here. So I'm going to um, name them just so I already know what everything else is. And I am not going to use anything else here except the ponytail I think I'm going to use. So I'm going to get rid of everything else. Just goodbye everything. I think I might use this together. Yes. Okay, so I'll just join this again. This I'm going to use myself later, so you don't have to worry about it. But the point is that I have my ears, and they look like they have a little bit of hair on the side, so the connection is more natural. And now this again is the Alice skeleton, right? We have it has already its own bones for the ears. So I don't need to do anything else because they are already here. So I can just go into the hair that I want, right? That I have already fitted, and I can just go and select every single part of my mesh. You can do that by selecting the first one and then holding down shift and clicking the last one. It will select everything. And then with shift down still, you're going to grab it and drag everything to the end root that we have for the Alice hair. Now all of your hair has been pushed down to the bottom. That's fine, that's normal. And we're going to, with the object properties, just, straighten it up, um, one by one. There might be an easier way to do this all at once. I don't know that method, however, if it exists, so I just do it one by one. Um, so again, I was told that technically it's not necessary to change the skeleton, but I've always had problems when I don't change the skeleton. Like the ears just don't animate, so I'm not sure if the person who told me this was confused, or if it's something that maybe I am doing something wrong, and that's why it only works. Well, it works for me, but that's why on the just to begin with, I have um, earless hair, and that's supposed to work. I don't know. But anyway, um, so you can see that where the ears are, there's still plenty of room for my hair. Uh, so this is something to keep into consideration, because when I bring the face, you can see that the ear flaps are fine here, but I definitely need to make some adjustments to hide well, this space over here, I need to close it. So I'm going to select uh, all of my hair at the same time, because I don't want to accidentally move something and not move everything else. I go back to vertex select mode, and I'm going to click and drag with proportional editing. You should already know what proportional editing is if you are making a hair port and you watched the class before. But if you don't, proportional editing uses this little circle over here. And once it's activated, you can uh, scroll with your mouse wheel as much as you can until you can see the circle. Usually it's a very big circle, so keep that in mind. And I'm going to keep adjusting over here so everything is connected properly to the ears. I'm thinking that uh, because this hair is supposed to be very close um, to the scalp, so it's not necessarily the most ear friendly, but let's see if we can make it work. Um, so I think I'm going to leave it like this right now. I don't want it to be completely perfect because that could take me a little while, and it's supposed to be just a quick guide. So once you are done, let's say that I'm done. Might technically not be done, but let's say that I'm done. Um, all right, so we have the hair already placed, and we have the ears in where they are supposed to be. Now keep in mind that the ears are still, like, because they're part of this skeleton, they work just fine. But the rest of the hair comes from a different skeleton, so we have to adjust to that accordingly. So basically, what we're going to do is we're going to select each of the meshes, and we're going to tell them one by one. Oh, hang on. Oh, yes, this is the other one. You're going to go one by one and select in the modifier properties. You're going to make sure that the object is the new root, right? So the Alice skeleton root is n root normal, no 001. So I'm just going to, with every single one of them, just move like this. And everything has to be en route. You cannot leave a single one unchecked. So, all right. Okay. Now, um, I am going to do some additional adjustments right now, but this is just because I am using the ponytail and I am changing the bones that I had originally, and I want to make um, adjustments based on that particular thing. Um, and make sure that the skeleton that you're using, in this case, I'm using the Alice skeleton because it's what I want to change to. But you should be choosing a skeleton for a hair that is actually compatible with the type of hair that you're using. And then the ears, you would be extracting them from. I recommend using the Alice hair, but you can use other hair if you want. The only problem or the only difference is that sometimes the ear is going to be fragmented in many different pieces, and it can be a little difficult to work with. So you can steal the ears from the Alice hair for Miqote because they are very easy to extract, and then you can place them in the new Miqote hair. Just make sure that whatever hair it is that it has, well, that it comes from a Miqote um, textile section because you want the Mimi bones, which are the ear ones. So, all right. I'm going to make some adjustments here very quickly, and then we can continue here. Okay. So I already finished making my adjustments. We'll see. I'll probably have to do a few more later, but these are just to make sure that our ears work. So we're going to, our ears are already weighted. We don't have to do anything with them except give them the correct, assign the correct number to them. So in this case, I have been working with this hair with main, everything that goes in the main head is already zero something. Then the ponytail is part one, and these additional braids are part two. They all use different materials. That's why I assign different numbers to them. And now the ears have to be their own material as well. So since I already have up to, I have 0, 1, and 2, I'm going to make this one material 3.0. And, actually, 3.1 for the ear fluff, and the actual ears will be 3.0. So with this, I will be able to assign the correct material for the ears. Now I'm going to, in object mode, select my hierarchy. I'm going to export this, and I'm going to do what I always do, which is do it to limit to selected objects. I'm going to remove the baked animation, the apply modifiers option, and the add leaf bones option. We don't want any of those. And we can export now. In textiles, you need to get to your, ideally you already know everything that you need to know for exporting the hair already. So you just need to make sure that you go to the correct hair that you have. In this case, I installed it in number 2. right? Yes, so it is installed in number 2 right now, and as you can see, it doesn't have ears. So here, the material that it has, I left the A as the original hair. Like this is the hair that the vanilla model has. And then B, C, and D are the different hairs for um, my parts of the new port. So this one is 0. The everything that was 0, I am assigning B. Everything that is number 1, I assigned C, and D I assigned with number 3. Sorry, number 2. Number 3 is going to be this particular hair, which is the original one, but again, it has the material for the ears. This map already contains the information for the ears, so I, in theory, only have to import it. Um, so I will open my editor, and I'm going to make sure that all of the parts of the hair are assigned properly. So we already said that 0 corresponds to B, and if you see, it already has the information for the Miqote ears. This attribute you want it removed. If you see it with any of the other parts, like if you see here, the original hair had all of these sections assigned to different parts of the Miqote ears. So I don't need this attribute here. I can just get rid of it every single time. And it's better that you do. We don't want attributes that are not supposed to be there. Um, so all of this is just the ears, just ears and ears and ears and ears for the original vanilla. So imagine working with that many parts. That's what the Alice option is so nice. Then the part number 1, it's assigned C. The part number 2 is assigned D. And then the part number 3, which is my ears, I'm going to assign the A material. Remember that materials in textiles have a limit of 4. You cannot use a fifth texture that's for a different thing unless you start like baking textures and stuff like that, which is a little more advanced in Blender. Um, but let's see how it looks. All right, so it looks like the ears that I selected are not the material, I should say, that I selected for the ears for the hair number 2 for Miqote are not compatible with the ears I currently have. So since I know that they are the Alice ears, I'm going to go to the Alice hair because the Alice hair is shared by every single um, character. um, all characters have it now. I am going to go directly to the hair model and use the textures for the Alice hair. I am just going to edit the material, copy the material, and then again, it's in the Midlander female section, right? Because all the textures for the hair that all characters or all races share are always going to be in the Midlanders. Um, so I'm going female because I want the female ears. So now I go back to the Miqote female number 2, and I changed this texture instead for the one that I got. I paste it, right? So now when it updates, it should have the correct, there we go. It has the correct textures. All right, it looks good. But I just wanted to make sure that it was the correct textures first. Now, let's import it again, but we are going to make sure that now our ears have the correct attributes. So I go here to my hair again. I open the editor, And then I'm going to go to the number that I assigned for the ears, that in my case is number 3. And then both to the ears and the ear fluff, I'm going to put in attributes Miqote ears and Miqote ears. Import. And in theory, that's it. Now all I have to do is go and create my mod pack, go into the correct hair that I installed, which is the Miqote female hair 2. Uh, oh, a small thing, a reminder about the metadata. If you are using the skeleton for a different hair, for example, I'm using the Alice skeleton, you need to select the correct hair for it in the extra skeleton settings. So for the Alice hair, it's 175. So save it like this, and it's better that you try to import it one more time, because TextTools tends to get rid of whatever stuff you like. If you had certain bones and they don't correspond with the extra skeleton settings, it's going to get rid of your extra skeleton stuff. So I'm going to import it one more time to make sure that it has the right skeleton information now. And now I can make my standard mod pack. All right, so I am going to make this my Kraken F Miko hair. All right, and there we go. Well, let's look at those ears work. I definitely should fix a little bit of the stuff that is here, but it looks pretty nice. And then let's animate it. Um, yeah, there we go. So now our ears move as well.